I finally did it, guys. I finally did it. It's the 4th dungeon that I managed to complete with all uncommons. If you guys haven't seen my other videos, it was basically ice golems. No, it was first. I did Fire Knight first, then I did ice golem second, dragon's lair third, and now finally the spider's den with only uncommon champions. So let me go and show you guys the team, and we'll go first through the gear, and then I'll go and show you guys the run, the actual run, which managed to complete it. So first up, seeing it's my two boys right here, my two Armigers at level 60, my little elf guard right here, level 60 again, shield guard level 60, fully ascended everyone, and of course Zephyr sniper. These are champions that I already had before leveled up, but the gearing is what makes the difference in all these videos that I do make, guys, and thinking of the skills that each champion has and how they can synergize with each other to help you to your goal, being beating down a dungeon. I don't say go and do this team, please. Just don't put it down in the comments below. Don't just say cold brew is, yeah, it's just your gear and great hole. Yes, of course it's that, but it's also the whole synergy between the team, the Armigers working together, elf guard and how she works, shield guard and what he does with it, all his skills, and of course Zephyr sniper being the tank here, being the one that takes down takes all the hits. And it came really close in some of the moments there in the run, but she does do make a difference in terms of being a tank. Let's go over the gear very quickly so that you guys can get an idea of what I had on them. It's all end game gear, so don't think you can copy this team and use this as a beginner account. I just do this for a showcase, guys. I love showcasing the uncommons and the strength behind the uncommons. So just gonna give another warning before anybody rushes to the comments. I know some love to do that. Okay, let's go first with all the other uncommon champions that I had. Okay, I did have Commander. I was trying to gear her up first, thinking, okay, I'm gonna use Commander, build her up with 70,000 health, 210 speed, with a relentless set, so she can go in there, do some heals, big heals, and get that 100% terror meter boost to my tanker, but while also healing for about 30,000 health, which is just amazing. So when she does heal that, and it's gonna heal any ally to full, then the terror meter will also go to full, but it will not intercept any of the enemy's turns. So if an enemy has 100% terror meter and this quick heal comes in, she will not intercept. She will wait. Well, the target that gets the terror meter will wait, and will go after everybody else has taken their turn. So Commander was not the solution, and I was also having issues with the Spiralings. I was thinking, okay, they're getting a ton of turns. All the Spiralings are getting a ton of turns. I don't have anything that can control the Spiralings as an AoE. And then I thought, okay, I do have one champion that can do that. Okay, I do have one champion that does an AoE, a big AoE, and it's Shield Guard. Shield Guard is a fantastic champion. He is member of that team. And the reason he is so good, guys, is not just because of the stun set. The stun sets are fantastic, okay? The gearing behind the stun sets are, of course, getting... it's my cat getting crazy. Okay, it's getting that 200 plus accuracy, over 190 speed. Look at that, 100% crit rate. The crit rate is essential. It's one thing that you definitely require in Shield Guard in making him work. And the reason is behind his skill. Battle stance, attacks all enemies, feels this champion's turn here, but 20% on each critical hit. I know that on the Spider's Den, there's so many targets that you can get away with 80 to 85% crit rate, maybe even less, because you can only get 100% crit rate. So there's so many Spiralings plus the big spider as targets. So he's bound to get, 100% terror meter, right? Well, I didn't want to risk it, so I went for 100% critical rate with as much speed as possible while also maintaining that accuracy. The damage was not what I was trying to get on Shield Guard, okay? The gear behind him is, of course, good. We look at legendary stun set artifacts. Not all of them have glyphs on. I think most of them don't even have glyphs on, but, level 16 items, 6-star artifacts, and accessories. These are only obtainable, by farming a lot of Spider, which I have, and I've been playing this account for 2 years. Just reminding you guys that this gear is not beginner friendly. So the way that I thought of, Shield Guard is I'll go Fearsome Presence. The reason is that 5% chance to stun adds up to that 18% chance from the set. I really needed that extra bit of chance. So that 18% chance is less than, a fifth of the time. So I thought, okay, let me help out the odds of stunning a target. I'll use a shield guard with fearsome presence, another 5%, 23% chance to stun. That's almost 1 out of 4. That's good. So one, shield guard's fantastic for that. He's gonna be stunning, hopefully, at least a third of the targets, if I'm lucky. He also has this, guys, uppercut, attacks one enemy, 30% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff. This is fantastic for the big spider. You want her to have a decreased speed, and this helped out a lot. And he also was gaining basically an extra turn whenever he was doing his A2. So he was rotating through that big stun very, very quickly, and even having way more speed helped him get more turns and help out with the stuns, controlling the waves. So next up was, okay, how low can Zephyr Sniper go as a tank? Can she survive? Does she need a healer? I also had Wind Talker. Okay, Wind Talker is a great support uncommon. I had him with a Relentless set here, testing him out. A good Relentless set, but honestly, he wasn't as good as I thought so, because of the fact that he is too good for an uncommon. The reason is he also applies an increased defense buff on the target ally for 2 turns. What this does is it tricks the enemy spiralings that because of the buff on the target that receives the heal, the spiralings basically switch a target. And this doesn't help me, because even though the heal is fantastic, the increased defense helps Zephyr Sniper survive. Once the buff goes on Zephyr Sniper, the spiralings change the target and it's done. So Wind Talker was out of the picture. So these 2 uncommons, I didn't level them specifically for this. I will level them because I just love going through good uncommon champions and just showcasing how they can be, beneficial for a team. Although, with so many champions out there, rares, epics, and legendaries, most of the players forget about uncommon. So I went for the tank next. Okay, the tank was very important. Zephyr Sniper fills this role 100%. There's no arguing about it. She has a huge base defense. Look at that, 1,244 base defense. I put in some of my best defense gear on her, so 6-star across the board on almost all my gear on her, because I wanted to get as much defense as possible with as much speed as possible, as much resistance as possible. Again, she's a fantastic tank by just having this gear set: 4,800 defense, 220 speed, 336 resistance. And even if I could get more resistance, I would get it, because even with 336, she still gets some poisons by the small spiralings, but not as many as she would have if she didn't have over 300 resistance. Very essential to have that Great Hole maxed out, and also resistance banner right here, and resistance on substats on many of the items. So again, not beginner friendly, but it's all behind on what you're going to do with the champions and how you're going to use some other champions that you might have to actually go through that stage and beat it. So Zephyr Sniper lifesteal set, very essential to have. Her skills don't really matter because she is mostly using her A1. She's not using her A2. I think she didn't use it once in the run that I did. And she also is built with War Master. This is very, very essential and required for her to fill back up to full when she's low. She does an AoE attack on her default skill, and she heals back up to full with that lifesteal set, the Life Drinker Mastery, and the War Master procs that she gets on the enemy target. Plus, also, in case you want to tune it right, you're gonna have Retribution proccing, but I found that having very high defense is much better on Zephyr Sniper than anything else. This was actually suggested by Hell Hades in the past, and I wasn't really thinking about it, but then I tried it out, and it definitely is a nice alternative to the Retribution way of tanking Spider 20. So finally, after thinking of all this through, what was left was actually getting that turn meter down, and the turn meter reduction is honestly the easiest part, given that, of course, I have Elfguard and Armigers. Okay, I'm gonna go through Elfguard first. Elfguard is a fantastic champion. I went through her in videos in the past. I used her in all of my teams for beating Fire Knight 20. I think didn't use her for Dragon 20 because she was weak affinity. Definitely used her for Ice Golem 20. Okay, she has a great Impale skill. Look at this, turn meter by 50% reduction. With the Relentless set, she gets extra turn there. With a 2-turn cooldown on that Impale, she gets that turn meter down, and she gets it down often plus a War Master there for some extra bit of damage. Just a great champion to have. She doesn't need 100% crit, but if you're on an endgame account, it's much easier to get all these stats up together. So at least 200 accuracy there with 185 speed plus the relentless sets. Again, not beginner friendly sets. And finally, guys, my boys, my Armigers, my favorite champion in the game. I would say that I just love using Armiger and beating down these stages. And this is the final part, you know, of the uncommon saga. I would like to say in dungeons. There's nothing more for me to do in the dungeons. Dungeons 25, unfortunately, I think. First of all, Spider 25 will be weak affinity for Armiger, so I doubt he's gonna have a chance to shine in there unless I use something like an affinity breaker set. But regardless, until that time comes, Armiger is the MVP, I think, in terms of what he provides and how good of a champion he is. I recommend everybody to have at least one copy of him in your champion roster. I have 2 of them plus another 2 in the vault that are level 50. So at least one, guys. Get one and you won't regret it. So the one that I have my stronger one is, of course, Relentless Set, getting 100% crit rate, as much critical damage as possible, as much speed, as much accuracy as possible. This 362 accuracy is because of I also use him for the Doom Tower. I don't use him always, but just because I use him sometimes, I kept that. Didn't change any of his gear, didn't change any of his masteries. He's got that amazing 30% decrease in turn meter if this attack is critical on his A1. That's why I've got him with 100% crit chance. And his A2 does a solid amount of damage, about 300,000 damage, if also I get lucky with the War Master proc on the same hit. The way that I built him is also for other dungeons, so this is why he has Whirlwind of Death. He doesn't have Cycle of Violence because that's not required. And then also I want this support route just to get that extra accuracy, get that extra Lore of Steel to give me some extra stats when I didn't have Relentless Sets on him. And Evil Eye is great for that beginner, you know, first hit on enemies to decrease the turn meter by, you know, 20% plus 30%. That's 50% turn meter reduction. So this is how my Armiger was built. Going, you know, in terms of stats on his gear was critical damage, accuracy on the chest. This could have been defense percent or something. Speed on the boots, and well, you know, accuracy on the banner and critical damage on his amulet, but HP on his ring. Overall, I was trying to get more health on everybody else so that they would have more health than Zephyr Sniper. Zephyr Sniper being the lowest health out of all my team. And then finally, my other Armiger is the Armiger I also use in the Doom Tower. Again, 360 accuracy with a destroy set. The destroy set does nothing for this video. I just didn't want to remove the gear. Honestly, I was lazy with this. So I knew that he does what he's supposed to do, like decrease the turn meter. He has good stats, so you know, 200% critical damage, 91% crit rate. I knew this must be 100% for it to work, but honestly, with the amount of turns that he gets because of that 220 speed, it's enough for me. Plus of Elf Guard and the other Armiger and the defense, the speed down from Shield Guard, I was getting a lot of turns. Also, guys, I forgot to mention Shield Guard's masteries. I got Cycle of Revenge here because whenever Zephyr Sniper was getting crit, he would get 15% turn meter boost, and that turn meter boost would help him out, you know, survive, not survive, get a turn and go in there and do his stun. So let's go over the run, guys, and I'll walk you through that. So guys, starting out the run, we're just gonna go enter the Spider's Den. I'll show you exactly how this team works and the idea behind it. I explained it all before, but now it's visually there. So here is Zephyr Sniper just taking a turn first because she's the fastest one. Armiger is going in there. They even get resisted. I don't know how. 360 accuracy. Anyway, big turn meter reductions there from my team of Armigers and Elf Guard. We're getting attacked by the Spiderlings. The Spiderlings just do some damage on her, but because of her high defense, she survives. She gets a turn. She attacks with her AoE. She heals back up to full. You see that right there. She's getting resists on the poison debuffs application by those Spiderlings. And we've got Shield Guard there that goes in with his big AoE and does stun, hopefully, on at least some of the Spiderlings, okay? You'll see throughout the fight that sometimes she gets extremely low, like, you know, 5% health. And that would have been, you know, a failed run if it didn't get those stuns in on other Spiderlings. So look at all the stuns here on the Spiderlings. It's just, you know, getting lucky with that 23% chance and getting the run completed. So here the big spiders, Terminator is very high. The Armigers, the Elf Guards help a ton. The Elf Guard help a ton with the Terminator reduction, and you guys gonna see on how fast this run can actually be when you do have a team that synergizes all together and gets the job done. So I'll let you go with this, and I'll have this on 2x speed or something so you don't watch the whole thing because it's gonna take a while, but definitely enjoy, guys. Thank you for watching. Please take the time and click that subscribe button down below, and also the like button if you haven't already. Help me get to that 25,000 subscriber mark, since it's a nice goal for me to get there the soonest possible. So thank you, guys. Enjoy my other videos on my channel if you haven't checked those out. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
With your feet in the jungle, and your mind going over, under, steady steps in the jungle, a fairy tale in the bubble. Step by step, you're heading deeper into a greenish night of senseless thought. You're waiting and waiting in knee-deep water, stuck with bubbling sounds of random song. With your feet in the jungle, and your mind going over, under, steady steps in the jungle, a fairy tale in the bubble. Step by step, you're sinking deeper into the dark brown soil of humid sleep. While your clothes slowly decompose in the fertile soil of senseless dreams. Don't wake these kids up.